In the big professional races which we watch on TV, the early break is generally caught before the finish line. However, in British races, it's that early breakaway which more often than not is fighting it out for victory. That makes being able to form or get into a breakaway an essential skill if you want to be successful at racing. So here are a few tips to get you up the road safely.
Watch the experienced riders. Once you start racing regularly, it won't take you long to recognise the riders that make it into the breakaway more often than not. It's a good idea to watch what they do. Not only will you learn from them quickly, but if you stay near them and are able to follow, you could well also find yourself making the decisive breakaway. Choose your time and place wisely. There are times when it's good to try and break away, and times where more often than not it will be fruitless. Attacking into a headwind, on a straight open downhill, or just before a corner are surefire ways to use up precious energy without getting anywhere. Try instead going where there is a cross or tailwind, an uphill or winding road where you'll be able to quickly get out of sight. Attack from the correct position. You also need to think about your position within the group. Attacking from the front will be obvious. Everybody can see you do it, and it's likely you'll be followed. Instead, start your attack from a little further back and try to use another rider to gain momentum before you make your sprint. The faster you're going when you come past the riders at the front of the group, the less likely they will be to try and go after you. Do this safely on the correct side of the road and you'll race smart. The initial surge should be the hardest. The idea of a breakaway is to put a gap between yourselves and those that you've left behind. So you want to create that gap as quickly as possible. The initial surge from the bunch should be almost a sprint. If you simply try to drift off the front, then it's likely that the entire bunch will quickly be on your wheel. If you've got a gap, establish it as quickly as possible. After your initial surge, take a quick look around to see the situation behind. If there isn't a gap, then it's time to sit up and wait for another moment. However, if you've drawn a couple of riders clear, then it's time to establish that gap. Time gaps of under 20 seconds are relatively easy to close or jump across to for an experienced road racer. However, once it gets over that, people will have second thoughts before trying to jump across on their own. So for the first 3 or 4 minutes after you've established that initial gap, you should continue to ride hard. If or when that gap creeps upward of 1 minute, then you can start to settle into a rhythm. If the breakaway begins to fragment, then some cat and mouse tactics are acceptable. However, don't obstruct, keep it safe and race smart. It's hard to ride away from a bunch on your own, so if you've drawn a small group clear, encourage them to all take turns to help establish the break. This can take the form of a single or double pace line, each rider doing their stint on the front before dropping back in the wheels to recover. Sharing the workload in this way will mean that you go faster and that the gap will increase quicker. Making an attack and being in a break is one of the most exciting aspects of bike racing. The adrenaline of knowing you're being hunted down by the bunch and the tactical subtleties of judging how much and for how long you'll cooperate with your breakaway companions heighten the intensity of the moment, but it's still important to remain focused and race safely.
Aside from the obvious, and by that I mean riding hard on the front in the wind, there are many ways to bring back a breakaway. Essentially, it's harnessing the power and strength of a number of riders, whether it be a group of individuals, teams, or several teams.